we need to have a little bit of a chat about the Nintendo Switch 2, specifically about, and yes, this is a thing currently, the scalping situation that has arisen from it. So recently, the Nintendo revealed the Nintendo Switch 2. We did have the direct that we watched. The reaction to it is currently up on this channel. And to kind of TLDR bullet point for those that may not be aware or kind of just like, hi, what's going on with this? So Nintendo revealed their new Switch console system. It is the Switch 2. And you're effectively buying into a new ecosystem. You have to have specific micro SD cards. Your old ones will not work. You're going to have premium games pricing, $80 digital, $90 physical, variable pricing in there as well as certain games, kind of like the Metal Gear Solid collection on Switch, where you kind of buy the cart, but you're not really buying the game. You're kind of just like buying a key, quote unquote, to download the game and access the game. So there's been a lot of controversy that's happened from it. And at the price point alone, $450, a lot of people are upset at that. I think reasonably so. But I think a lot of people are kind of just like, yeah, the console pricing is fine. The game's pricing is a little egregious. So now that you're effectively caught up on that, as there's been a bunch of this, I was watching a YouTuber by the name of Yong Yea. Watched his content for a while. I actually really like just how direct he is and how blunt he is with a lot of things. But in his most recent video, as of uploading this, he was talking about Nintendo Switch 2 scalping, and I'm like, no. Dude, there's no way. To which I did take to eBay. This is a proxy zip. Don't worry about that. Wanted to look at this, and I was a little confused because we already have scalping for this. The console isn't even out. Okay, the official release date is 6/5. Okay, June 5th. Pre-orders in the U.S. aren't going to be live, from what I understand. That has to do with Nintendo mentioning tariffs and how the tariffs weren't considered for their pricing model. So the 450 is their base price floor, but because tariffs and uncertainty regarding it, the pre-orders aren't going to be live for the U.S. Lot of this whole situation there as well that many other YouTubers far larger and far more knowledgeable than I have broken down. But all that aside, we have a scalping issue, and this is on the tail of Nintendo introducing measures, which Yong Yea does go into in his video. He talks about how Nintendo is they put safeguards in place, so to speak. But even with the safeguards in place, we still clearly have people who are just scalping. Yeah, I'm a little shocked. I'm surprised that I'm shocked, but you will not. I refuse to pay $800 USD for a secondhand Switch. So when I look at things like this, even if it's complete in box, right? If it's complete in box, or even if it's sealed, I treat this like buying an Xbox or a PlayStation or even a gaming PC from a pawn shop. You don't know what the last owner did with it. You have no understanding if this individual who is trying to sell this tried to tamper with the device, tried to homebrew it, hack it, use it for any sort of experimentation. You don't know if they're putting malware or anything on it. I mean, you are inherently taking that risk. Yes, you can argue, well, if it's sealed, it'll be fine. At that point, the argument does become, just don't reward the scalpers. This behavior is clearly being incentivized, and it's kind of plaguing everywhere right now. But I think Nintendo is specifically in the crosshairs right now because with Pokemon, we have a massive scalping problem going on with Pokemon right now, the Pokemon TCG specifically. And it's really leading to the detriment of the game, to the point where when my legitimate logical thought process is it's better to leave a box or ETB sealed because of potential investment value, like it will retain value sealed, versus actually opening it to get cards to play the game. We've entered a degenerative game state for all intents and purposes, pun intended. So we're seeing this as well, obviously, and I get it. It's going to be supply and demand. This is actual just economics at work. You're going to have people who have the capital to front for a bunch of Switch systems, or as many Switch systems as they get their hands on, and then they're going to make sure to go, hi, well, I put in this effort. I have made sure to reserve this spot. If you, too, want to make sure that you have a Switch 2 on or near the launch date, just make sure that you purchase it for me. A little charging a little bit of premium there. So the way that you address this is to some people would say not buy the Switch 2 in general. I will most likely buy the Switch 2 because I don't want to miss out on the generation personally, which puts me in the minority of people. It's whatever, right? Same argument of don't buy Call of Duty every year. Enough people buy Call of Duty any year that it's not buying Call of Duty is not going to do anything to their bottom line, in my opinion. You may disagree, but they still make game year after year. So even though I will probably still buy a Switch 2, I will refuse to buy it for more than actual MSRP. Like if I were to go walk down to a store within walking distance, right, and they were selling it there, and they're selling it for $499.99 plus sales tax, that is my price point. I refuse to go to eBay or any other seller and buy it for $529, $609, $808. This is absolutely wild to me. And the way we get people to stop, it won't ever truly stop. Let's be honest. Let's be fully transparent. Anytime something big like this, something new like this comes out, there will be scalping. Whether it's going to be a new Android phone, whether it's going to be a new device in an Apple ecosystem on the current, current firmware cycle, right? So whether it's a new iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, etc., right? There will be people trying to buy up the stock and then resell for a premium. In cases like this with the 808, 746, a very heavily inflated premium. So you're never truly going to get rid of it. But the way that you stop this behavior, the way you de-incentivize this behavior is even if they're holding on to product, right? Like there's a bunch of people who bought like a bunch of, 2080s, 2090s, 30 series cards and stuff as well during the big boom of crypto, and how they have all these GPUs that they're holding on to, and now they can't get as much of those GPUs. You treat it the exact same way. Okay, you happen to, try to scalp these Switches, and now you're selling it for, say, $429.99. I'm still not buying it. You have to leave them holding that. You have to, it forces accountability, if that makes sense. You have to force scalpers and individuals like this, who, yes, are upfronting the capital and buying stock out. Therefore, businesses like Nintendo are clearly making money, right? The console has been sold. They have made their money. They may choose to make more units. They may choose to not make more units, right? That's just how that works. The business offers thing, and if you didn't get access to it, tough. And we do see this with Nintendo, right? We do see this primarily with older entries like, GBA carts, DS carts, right? Even 3DS carts right now. You cannot legally purchase a copy of Pokemon Crystal or Pokemon Fire Red or Emerald from Nintendo right now. They just don't offer it. You can subscribe to the Nintendo Switch online store, right? You can do that, and you can get access to the streaming of Pokemon Stadium and stuff. You can do things like that, but in terms of games ownership, right? If I go to my funny little desk right here and I take out my copy of Pokemon Red for Game Boy Color, right? Sorry, Game Boy. You can't physically buy that. We had it on the Nintendo 3DS eShop, right? Where you could buy, quote unquote, a download for it. But we don't have that anymore. So this does already go in line with their current business practices. They could do 1, 2, 3, maybe 5 print waves of the Switch 2. And if they're not making money on it, they could choose to just not print more. Now, will they? I think that it would be odd for them not to, because they can just make them and, effectively print money similar to Pokemon cards, right? But that is a possibility. At the end of the day, if you are a business and you are selling your entire stock, grats, you don't have any overhead to have products sit, right? It's if you have to have products sit, it costs you money, because that could be where other product could take up, right? So, and then you get into the retailer side of things as well, which is what I'm talking about, where if you have a retailer like a big box store and you try to put it, in, let's say, they get, 20 units of the Switch 2 and all of them sell out, grats, it's not like they have a Switch 2 sitting there for, 2 years, right? We've all been to a store and we've all looked at their electronics section, right? And, big box stores, right? And some of them still have like 3DSs, 2DS XLs, etc., right? Like, they could, in fact, make more money if that wasn't there, but because that is there, it is taking up space. So eventually they get rid of it in some capacity. Either someone buys it or they ship it off somewhere, right? But yeah, I'm surprised that scalping is already a thing with the Switch. And I have definitely mixed feelings on it. Personally, it's one of those things, like I said, I will personally buy the Switch. I think the games are a little egregious. I will definitely having to be cut down on games in terms of actually buying them, because that is a lot. This is also going in with the understanding Nintendo is trying to push this as a premium console. They are pushing this as a premium handheld console. And you are having to buy new storage, new micro SDs for it. You're having to get the new system. You have to upgrade your older games. So there's not really true backwards compatibility. It's not like playing Pokemon Colosseum XD Gala Darkness on your Wii, or playing, Link's Crossbow Training or Skyward Sword on your Wii U, right, from the prior console, right? Animal Crossing City Folk. It's more along the lines of, hi, you have a PS4 copy of Bloodborne. We're going to have the PS5 upgraded of Bloodborne, right? And then it upgrades to that. So it's interesting to feel that backwards compatibility is dunzo, gone, 6 feet under, if you will, unalived even, as some might say. But I mean, I think we've known that for a hot minute. The backwards compatibility like that is truly just gone at this point. And I'm just really shocked that, once again, shocked that I'm shocked, but I'm really shocked that we already have scalpers in this. And I think that reasonably across the board, I think we can all agree, even if you want the Switch 2, even if you don't want the Switch 2, don't give the scalpers the time of day. It's not worth your time. It's not worth rewarding this kind of behavior in any way, shape, or form. And I wish it could stop, but it's not going to stop. Let's be real. So hopefully this was interesting. Kind of burnt out on reactions. I will still keep reactions in what capacity I can. I know there's a lot of people who want me to watch them, but I'm also kind of just burning out at this point because, you know, we're going on 3 years. I kind of want to do more, like I do with Twitch, right? I do stream from time to time. I do have the other channels, Tactic Kip, which is primary reactions right now, but I also have the Kids in the Kip TV channel where I put, you know, VODs and Let's Play recording kind of things on. Links in the description, obviously. So sorry if I sound a little off today. Allergies are hitting me harder than a Titanfall 6 stack. It's pretty rough. In fact, I'm going to go take a break. I'm going to go try to clean everything because I feel rough. And obviously, at the end of the day, make your own educated decision about the Switch 2, whether you want it or whether you don't. Just make sure you do your research and make sure that you have an opinion that is defensible and that you're okay with. But thank you all for watching. Thank you all for giving me your eyeballs for your time. And thank you, Yong Yea, for continuing to just put out some great work. I wanted to substantiate it by looking on eBay. I'm sure other sites have it as well, but I really do appreciate bringing this to light. Thus, I can make a more informed decision when trying to purchase the console, the availability of console, and who is going to have a lot of the supply. And thank you, everyone, for watching. I'll see you in the next one.